Picking an item off the shelf, taking it to the cash register could be a thing of the past. Legitimate shoppers under more surveillance than ever before as stores and law enforcement desperately try to rein in the growing business of retail theft.
Well, tonight, a special report, Aisle Threat. Queen City News Chief Business Correspondent Taylor Young explains how organized retail crime could forever change the shopping experience and raise prices for everyone.
Through the lens of surveillance cameras and cell phones, a crime that was once considered invisible, now happening in plain sight.
We see this from small mom and pops to the large chains across the board.
Big box stores like Walmart, Target, Dollar General, Walgreens, and Home Depot sounding the alarm on the impact of organized retail crime. Some choosing to abandon theft hotspots in San Francisco and New York City. North Carolina now also seeing a rise in retail crime, an estimated $3 billion a year in lost revenue due to theft.
Is there a concern that we will lose some retailers because of this?
It is a concern based on what we see in other areas, but I think thankfully we have created an environment in North Carolina where we do have very strong laws on the books and really great partnerships in place.
While shoplifting has always been a part of doing business, the federal government says what's happening at stores across the country is more than a crime of opportunity. Networks of theft rings that cross state lines and even time zones.
And we've seen it here in the Carolinas where you might have a crew start in Charlotte at noon and then end up in Atlanta by the end of the day, just hitting all the different retail establishments down the East Coast.
Homeland Security is the lead federal agency tackling organized retail crime.
Right now, as we're talking, we have agents out there with our partners investigating these type crimes.
With a task force dedicated to the Carolinas, Deputy Special Agent in Charge Kyle Burns says what's stolen from stores locally likely ends up online, sold through sites like Facebook Marketplace, Amazon, and auction sites.
The proceeds that are generated from this are then used to buy narcotics and drugs. So it's kind of this whole cycle is that if you look at it as victimless crime, well, it's not.
As stores grapple with the loss of inventory, also known as shrink, more are leaning on customers to make up the difference. Burns says on average, consumers pay an extra $500 a year in increased prices due to shrink.
Customer service needed in the shave needs department.
But they're also seeing an impact inside the store as well.
And I'm like, okay, yeah, this is what I need. And I'm like, wait, it's behind glass? I thought I could just slide it over. And I was like, no.
Aisles covered by glass, merchandise behind lock and key, and nonstop surveillance.
The goal here is to kind of get inside the head of the offender and get them to abandon this act of theft.
Joe Budano is the CEO of Indime Solutions, the company that provides anti-theft equipment to 35,000 stores across the country, including retailers like CVS, Walgreens, and Walmart. Since the pandemic, Budano says his business has increased by 30%.
So it is the solution of last resort for retailers, but given the amount of merchandise that's now gotten locked up, you can see that is a direct reflection of the magnitude of the problem.
While his products have been proven to be successful at preventing theft, they also come at a cost to retailers. Budano says locked cases lose between 15 and 25% of sales, meaning shoppers tend to avoid the inconvenience.
Sometimes if people are busy in the store, it'll take twice as long just to wait for it. And so if I don't have the brand loyalty or anything crazy like that, I'll just buy something else.
Indime Solutions has found that 2% of shoppers in a store at any given time are offenders, while 98% are legitimate shoppers. So how do you prevent a small percentage of people from stealing without penalizing the rest? Well, it's going to take a bit of a compromise, the willingness to trade personal information for convenience.
But as an offender, the last thing you want to give up is your anonymity. So we said, tell us a little bit about who you are, and we'll let you in this case without supervision.
The company recently launched Freedom Cases, where shoppers can enter information like a cell phone to access merchandise. But even then, you're still going to be watched. Emerging AI technology now able to analyze your behavior and alert a store associate if it's in any way suspicious.
When you get TSA pre-check, you're authorizing the government to do a massive background check on you and your entire life. As a result, you don't take your shoes off, right? You don't have to go through the serious shakedown at TSA. Well, it's very similar in a store environment. That's where That's a perfect example of, I think, where it's heading.
The future of shopping being compared to passing through security at an airport. As federal agencies and retailers continue to combat organized retail crime, shoppers can expect to pay the price both in convenience and at checkout. Reporting in Charlotte, Taylor Young, Queen City News.
North Carolina is one of 9 states to implement harsher punishments for those involved in organized retail theft. And retail organizations continue to push lawmakers to pass even stricter laws.